All right, this is Professor Denholtz. We are going to be doing problem 2 of Lab 5. And so problem 2 is this ellipse here with a circle on the inside and two other ellipses which are both centered on the midpoint. So let's go ahead and do what we usually do. So I'm going to open a new drawing file. And I'm going to be building off of my layer template. And I am going to save my layer template as problem 2. So Professor. All right, so now we have the same layer properties that we had before. And for this drawing, I'm going to start with the small circle of diameter 0.5 right in the center. So 0.5, I'm going to zoom in to where I made it. And now I'm going to do an ellipse, which this is the ellipse command. They're going to be centered on the same spot. And I'm going to use ortho here. And what we're doing right now is we're defining the horizontal distance from the center to the edge. And so we can see that it's 6 all the way across for the large ellipse. Horizontally, it's 6 across. So from the center to the edge, it would be half that. It would be 3. So I'm going to type in 3. And then same thing here. We could see that vertically, it's 3 from the lowest part to the highest part. And I want to go from the center to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half of 3 is 1.5. And so that is our larger ellipse. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to do these ellipses, this one or this one, but I don't know exactly where it is. I can draw a line connecting to 1.5 to the left and to the right. That would allow me to locate this. Alternatively, I can use a construction line, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to switch to my construction layer, and I'm just going to make a line from the center right up to this edge here, and I can see it's perpendicular there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side, or you can mirror it. I think for a line like this, it's probably easiest just to draw it in really quickly. And again, we can see it's perpendicular in exactly 3, which is what we want. And I'm also going to go just slightly past this edge because I want to draw a center line going through this also. And this is going to be arbitrarily where I start it. But the main thing I want here is now I can snap with a triangle. You see that triangle? That's showing it's the midpoint of this line. And same thing, this line over here, I can also snap to that as well with the triangle. And if it's not working for you, then you want to check your objects now. You want to make sure that you have midpoint on. Midpoint will show a triangle when you're there. And so now I could just snap easily to where I want to drop down these the ellipse. And so now I'm going to go back to my solid layer, and I'm going to draw an ellipse, which is going to be, it's the full distance horizontally is 1, so I'm going to be writing in 0.5, and vertically it's 0.5, so I'm going to do 0.25. So let's do that. We're going to drop this right on the midpoint. And so we're going to go over by 0.5, and then we're going to be going up by 0.25. Again, those are the length that you input is 1/2 the full end-to-end distance. And so that's why we put in 0.5 over here and 0.25 over here. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to be putting in 0.75 vertically and 0.5 horizontally. So here's our midpoint. And vertically, I'm going up 0.75 because that's half of 1.5. And then horizontally, I'm going across by 0.5. And so that is that. Now, I'm also going to be adding in a center line. So I'm going to go to my center layer for that. And that's where I was saying I was just going to start over here. That's why I kind of went past the edge a little bit. I'm going to go past the edge a little bit over here also. And then I'm going to go back and hide that layer. And so this is our drawing. You certainly want to make sure that you are dimensioning this. Take care as there are some guidelines I broke here, and I want to see how you use the guidelines and follow them as best as possible. So that is our second problem of Lab 5.